At my birthday party, I was going to announce that I was pregnant. Instead, my boyfriend announced that he was leaving me. Everyone at the party laughed. But I just smiled. 2 months later, he was drunk outside my house, begging me. It was my 30th birthday party at our cozy apartment in the city, surrounded by friends popping champagne. I unwrapped Evan's gift, expecting something sweet, but inside was a note that hit like a punch. I'm leaving you.
You're useless, you deserve better.
Your things will be packed on Monday. Little did he know, I was pregnant with his kid, and I'd already found proof of his cheating. I looked up at Evan, the guy I'd loved for 3 years. His usual smile was gone, replaced by a cold smirk. He said it out loud for everyone, we're done.
Iveout grognou.
Then he laughed, this mean, mocking laugh. A couple friends chuckled too, thinking it was a prank. He just walked out, leaving the door wide open. The room went dead quiet.
Friends stared, wondering what they'll just happened.
I crumpled the note, swallowing the pregnancy news I'd planned to share tonight. Mia, my best friend, grabbed the paper, read it, and cursed under her breath. That sparked everyone talking, pissed off and confused. But I smiled.
Not a happy one, just a calm, knowing smile. Yeah, it hurt like hell, humiliation burning me up inside.
But underneath, I felt clear-headed. Evan thought he had the upper hand, dumping me like that in front of everybody. He didn't know about the baby. He didn't know I'd seen his secret credit card bills, hotels, fancy dinners, jewelry that wasn't for me. Or the messages on his watch with M, and all those hearts. Dude forgot to lock it down properly. He had no clue I wasn't the type to fall apart. I'm the planner, the one who thinks ahead. So I thanked folks for coming, said I was okay, no worries. I even cut the cake Mia brought, passing out slices like nothing big happened. Friends stuck around, cleaning up, offering hugs and places to crash. By midnight, it was just me and Mia. She crashed on the couch, wouldn't take no for an answer. Alone with her, I finally broke down. The betrayal, the public shame, the baby I couldn't announce, it all hit hard. I sobbed, and she just held me. Around 2 a.m., when I calmed down, I told her about the pregnancy. She nodded, said she'd guessed. Then I showed the evidence, statements, screenshots. We both figured out who M was. We talked till sunrise, mapping out next steps. She asked if I'd tell Evan. I said yeah, but on my terms when I'm ready. The affair and money stuff would come out, but smart, not sloppy revenge. Mia looked at me, half worried, half impressed, said I scare her when I get that focused look. I actually laughed, first real one since the box. In bed that night, hand on my belly, I made promises.
To the baby, a good home, full of love, no drama. To myself, idée comme out stranger.
Evan thought he ended our story with that note. But nah, the best payback needs time, smarts, and staying cool.
Yad all that now.
The next morning, the apartment smelled like coffee and pancakes. Mia, my rock, was buzzing around the kitchen like everything was normal, but she kept eyeing me and the baby bump with worry. I ate a bit of pancake before the queasiness hit, reminding me of my new situation. Evan didn't show up that Sunday. It was a relief but also bugged me big time. I spent the day flipping between feeling numb, pissed off, and super organized. I filled my notebook with lists, money stuff, doc visits, who to tell. My head was in survival mode, focusing on the basics to block out the emotional crap. Mia helped pack some of Evan's junk, just enough to say don't come back. My phone blew up with texts from friends, mostly supportive vibes. Maria's radio silence stood out like a sore thumb. Monday rolled in, hitting me with real life. I called out sick from work, which I never do. I also booked a doc appointment to check the pregnancy and talk options. Around noon, while looking up renter rights for our lease, Evan texted, coming by at 7 for my stuff.
Don't be there.
The nerve of it stunned me for 5 whole minutes.
He shot back, no.
That's it. No details, no backup plan. He called right away, I ignored it. Then I hit up Mia, who rounded up the crew. By 6:30, Aaron, Sergio, Lana, who stuck around longer, and others packed the place, like a chill wall of protection. Evan showed at 7 on the dot. His face when he saw the group was gold. He tried acting tough, asking what the hell was going on, but Aaron, who's huge like a tank, just gave him one suitcase. The rest is yours when you set a real time and act decent, Aaron said, straight up.
This is it for now.
Evan tried eyeing me where I sat cool on the couch. He started arguing, but I finally spoke, keeping it steady. You're lucky I haven't swapped the locks yet, I said. We can sort the rest after I deal with your birthday stunt. He pushed more, but my look shut him down. He grabbed the bag and bounced, grumbling about me needing a crowd.
The ironie killed me.
After he split, I cried again, not for him, but for the life I'd pictured, the plans I had to scrap, the kid who deserved better.
Next morning, I called a locksmith.
My doubts about Maria had been eating at me since she dipped from the party.
Proof came from Sergio out of nowhere.
He texted Tuesday night, saying he and Aaron saw Evan and Maria together 2 months back, but weren't sure if it was shady. He said sorry for not spilling sooner. It hit like a sucker punch but also felt like validation. I knew Evan was stepping out, now I knew who. Maria, who'd been in my crib, eaten my food, taken my friendship, that was next level backstabbing. I held off confronting them. Patience, I told myself, was the move. The next week flew by with errands. Doc confirmed the pregnancy, 10 weeks. I talked to a lawyer about the lease and splitting stuff, good thing we weren't hitched. I froze our shared card and started a new bank account just for me. I kept the baby news quiet from others, it was a smart holdback. I needed my shit together. 2 weeks after the birthday mess, Evan texted again, wanting to hash things out and grab more gear. I said yeah, but at a coffee spot near the apartment, public and neutral, my call. He looked rough, scruffy beard, bags under his eyes, messy shirt. He rambled about being unhappy, feeling stuck, thinking a quick cut was best for all. I let him go on, sipping tea, then asked the big one, Maria making you happy? His face went blank, like a deer in lights. He fumbled weak denials.
I shut it down.
I know about Maria, I said chill.
The hotel bill on your hidden card.
The bling you got her with rent money.
Just level with me for once.
He folded. He tried the not what you think BS, but I cut him off. Pick up the rest Saturday at 2. Aaron's watching. After that, no contact unless through my lawyer. His voice cracked. Lawyer? He echoed, shocked. He said we could handle it ourselves. I stayed cool, heart pounding though. Too late for that, I said.
You made your pick clear at my party.
I'm just honoring it. As I got up to go, he grabbed my wrist, not hard but needy. He asked about the apartment, how I'd pay solo, saying my job covered barely half. Then it hit, his real worry, why he wanted this meet. It was cash. He didn't know, or forgot, I'd been paying more than half for a year. His pay was tanking, job shaky, but he acted like the big earner to friends and Maria. He'd been blowing cash, using my steady check as backup. I smiled nice. I'll handle it, I said. Unlike some, I save instead of dropping it on hotels and jewels. His face went white. He knew I had the dirt. I left that shop feeling lighter than in weeks, not 'cause I scored a win, but 'cause I saw Evan for real, a dude all about looks over real stuff, lying to seem baller, ditching when I didn't fit his story. Saturday hit, and Aaron handled Evan grabbing more stuff. I was at prenatal yoga, giving myself space. When I got back, the place felt emptier but more mine. I spent the evening moving furniture, owning the spot. Over the next few weeks, a routine kicked in, job, doc checks, vitamins, tight budget. I wasn't just getting by, I was building a future that was changed but still solid. As for Evan and Maria, their thing wasn't popping. Word from Sergio's cousin, who worked at their fave spot where they fought a lot, said Maria was getting fed up. Turns out Evan sold himself as way more loaded than he was. The first big slip in their act came a month after our coffee chat. I was grocery shopping when my cart bumped Maria's. She looked shocked, then guilty, then bold. She said hi awkward, that I looked good. You look beat, I said straight. Silence hung till she spilled that Evan told her we were split when they hooked up, just roomies till the lease ended. I raised a brow but stayed quiet. She fumbled what might have been an excuse or sorry, saying she wouldn't have jumped in if we were still tight. Doesn't matter now, I said. He's yours. Have fun. As I walked off, she called out, voice tight. He's not what I expected.
promised stuff et can't back up.
I glanced back at this chick I once called a pal, now shrunk by her mess. That's your issue, I told her, and I ain't fixing it. About 6 weeks after the party, I started showing, a little bump you couldn't miss. Time to open up. I told my boss first, who was super cool, giving flex hours. Then I looped in other friends and fam slow.
Gossip spread quick.
I knew it'd hit Evan, but I wasn't hiding. This kid was coming, with or without him. 7 weeks after the split, at 17 weeks pregnant, Evan blew up my phone with frantic texts. Is it true?
You pregnant?
Why no heads up?
We gotta talk now.
Pick up, Lily.
This is my business too.
I didn't reply, not to be petty, because I wasn't sure what to say. I needed time to figure his role, if any. Texts kept coming, more wild. I got rights.
Can't cut me out of my kid.
Call or I'm showing up. That one made me respond. I said don't come uninvited, I'd call cops if needed, and I'd reach out when ready for a calm talk. He chilled for 2 days flat. Then, like I'd hinted in my first post, he turned up. It was right after 11 at night. I was in bed flipping through a pregnancy book, when I heard a car door slam, footsteps, then banging, not a knock but wild pounding, and Evan's voice, slurred but clear. Lily. Open up.
I know you're home.
We gotta talk about our kid.
Fort à sec, I froze, tracing.
Police? Aaron?
Duck and cover?
Then I heard him crying. He was out there, wasted and sobbing, switching between yelling and begging, saying he screwed up, let him in, it's his baby too. And even after all the crap, a tiny part of me got it, not feeling sorry, but seeing the truth. His big dramatic exit, his fresh start with Maria, ditching useless me, it was all falling apart. Real life hit him hard, with a surprise baby and money troubles. I got out of bed, threw on a robe, and went to the door careful. Didn't open it. My voice stayed steady, even with shaky hands, talking through the wood. Evan, you're hammered.
Go sleep it off.
We can chat tomorrow when you're clear-headed. He yelled he needed to see me right then, know if it was real. Through the door, I said yeah, I'm pregnant. 18 weeks.
And yeah, it's your.
But this ain't how we handle it. Head home. There was a thump on the door, and he muttered something I almost didn't catch. Maria dumped him. She said he wasn't the guy she thought, lied about it all. I couldn't resist, sounds like déjà vu. He let out this empty laugh. He owned up to messing up bad and begged to come in. I took a deep breath, hand on my little bump. Not tonight, I said flat. But meet me tomorrow at the Main Street Cafe at 10. If you're late or show up buzzed, that's your last shot. He went quiet so long I thought he blacked out.
Then, soft, tomorrow, 10.
He swore he'd be there. I heard his wobbly steps fade. A car started, not his good, at least he wasn't driving drunk. Back in bed, my phone pinged, sorry for it all. The party. The note.
Tonight.
I'll fix it somehow. I didn't text back. Talk is cheap, Evan was always smooth with words. But now with a kid coming, I needed real moves. Did I still love him? Nah, that died when he shamed me. Hate him? Not really. Hate takes juice I needed elsewhere. I'd meet him tomorrow. Listen. Set rules. And decide based on what's best for me and the baby, not his wants. Next morning at the cafe, Evan was there at 9:55, looking wrecked. Red eyes, same clothes from last night, jittery vibes shaking the table. He got me a decaf latte, a little try that missed. I'd switched to herbal tea, coffee made me sick now. It summed up Evan, guessing what I wanted without really noticing.
The talk dragged on.
He poured out sorries, for the birthday mess, the cheating, the money lies, showing up sloshed. It was like him rushing through a checklist of regrets. I just sipped my tea, which I ordered instead of his latte, and let him burn out. My quiet felt strong. When he fizzled, I asked the key thing, what do you want exactly? It threw him, and he stumbled about wanting in on the kid's life, doing right, maybe even us trying again. I laughed at that, not mean, just shocked he thought we'd patch up.
Things got real when il est out the rule moving forward.
I said I'd already talked to a lawyer on support and custody. His eyes flashed panic at lawyer again, almost funny. I said I wasn't blocking him from the kid, but trust had to build from scratch. That meant set visits, paying up, and showing up steady, not just when it fit his schedule or looked good online. He kept pushing back to us as a pair, I kept pulling it to co-parenting. He got annoyed, called me ice cold and scheming. Ice cold and scheming is what your note was, I shot back. Difference is, I'm doing it to shield our kid, you did it for your pride. That shut him up. Before bouncing, I gave him a folder, ultrasound pics, due date, doc info, and a draft support deal from my lawyer. Look it over, I said. Get your own lawyer if you want.
Hit me up when you've thought it through.
As I stood, he grabbed my wrist again. Maria know about the baby? He asked. Ain't my biz to tell, I said, pulling away gentle but firm, and left. Over the next few weeks, stuff calmed down. I zeroed in on the nursery, an IKEA crib that Mia and I wrestled for 3 hours, a used changing table, a starry mobile for Mom. I'd been stashing cash hard, grabbing weekend gigs editing social media posts, a quiet but key way to fill the money hole Evan left. Mom sent some dough too, sweet move, though my go-it-alone side felt a bit weird about it. Evan was dealing meantime. He'd text now and then, asking about the baby or nursery pics. I'd answer straight, keeping it neutral. Sometimes he'd slip into personal stuff, like if I was dating or mentioning old shows we binged.
Idée nugget back.
Then came the run-in. I was at Target on Saturday, grabbing diapers, when I bumped carts with Maria again.
What are the chances?
This time, she didn't act weird or defensive, she seemed kinda glad to see me. She asked right away how I was, how the pregnancy felt, for real interested. Then she said sorry, not a fake one, but deep, owning the hurt she caused. She said Evan spun her the same yarn he told other chicks. We were done, just playing house, I was dragging him down from his big potential. She just learned he was seeing another girl while with her. The twist was heavy, and we both got it. We grabbed coffee, tea for me, and had this weird chat about the dude we now saw plain, not evil but super insecure, craving props and lying to snag it. As we split, Maria dropped casual that Evan got canned from his job 2 weeks back. She figured I should know, with support on the line. I thanked her. Wasn't thrilled about his firing, it messed things up. But good to have the heads up. That evening, folding little onesies and tuning into my go-to podcast, the doorbell buzzed. Through the peephole, it was Evan, clean but beat up looking. I cracked the door but didn't let him step in. He jumped into a rushed spiel about his job loss, swearing it wasn't on him. Then he asked if I'd bumped into Maria, sounding shady. Yeah, I said. We crossed paths at Target. His face twisted, aiming for chill but coming off backed up. He pressed what we chatted about.
Mostly you, he shot back.
He got prickly, sure we were plotting against him, that the world's ganging up. I hit him with the truth, he built this mess with his own moves, and victim mode wouldn't fly with me. That's when he broke, not big sobs, but a quiet, defeated sag. He said his world's crumbling, no work, no girl, a pad he can hardly swing, and a kid coming he ain't ready for. For a quick SEC, that old habit kicked in to soothe him, sort it out. But nah, I flashed back to the icy note, you're useless.
He deserve better.
Instead of hugs, I gave straight talk. 2 roads ahead, I told him. Keep the self-pity train rolling and tank it all, or man up, own your shit, and start fresh. For the first time in this chaos, Evan really tuned in.
No cut, no BS.
When I rapped, he nodded slow and asked if we could chat inside. I paused, then okayed it, keeping the door propped.
Never lock yourself in with somebody of guilty.
We parked at the kitchen table, and for once, he asked solid questions about the baby. Not fluff, but real stuff on health, growth, birth plans. As we talked, it hit me, no spark left for Evan, but I wanted him stable, not for him but the kid. Before he dipped, he swore he'd check the support papers and hunt a new gig. Out of nowhere, he thanked me for not hating his guts when I could. I said hate drains too much, and I'm hoarding mine for bigger deals. The next few weeks shifted things a bit. Evan landed a new job, lower pay but reliable. He inked the support deal no fuss. He even signed up for parenting classes at the rec center. As the due date got close, it wasn't ideal, but it worked. Evan and I built a careful co-parent setup, with firm lines and what to expect. He showed for doc visits when I said come. He even pitched in on the crib when I threw in the towel on those dumb IKEA steps. At 7 months knocked up, a box showed from him. Inside, a basic journal with a note, for your ideas, plans, and all the true crime podcast scribbles you wanna jot.
You were never useless.
I was too wrapped in myself to spot your worth. I didn't hit back.
Some stuff don't need word.
But I cracked the journal, mainly to log this ride, so one day I can spill to our kid the twisted, sloppy, real-as-hell tale of how they got here. It's been ages since my last update. Life with a newborn don't leave much time or brain power. But the baby's here. Little Zoe showed up 6 weeks back, 7 pounds 4 ounces, with a mop of dark hair and her dad's chin, the one thing from him I don't mind her having. Labor was no joke, those birth vids on YouTube didn't prep me for 32 hours of it. Through all them contractions, I kept thinking how far I'd come since that nightmare birthday 8 months ago. Back then, I was froze with a dump note in my hand. Now, I was pushing out a whole person. Evan showed at the hospital, which shocked everybody, me included. He rolled in with this massive teddy bear that wouldn't squeeze through the door. But he stuck around the wait, my yelling, the whole deal. Mia was my anchor, kept saying I got this, even when I swore I didn't. Evan hung in the corner, phone scrolling, asking if I needed stuff now and then, at least he tried. When Zoe hit my chest, it clicked clear, all the hurt, lies, doubt, it led to her.
Wouldn't swap a step.
Evan bawled holding her, snotty and red-faced, the realest he'd been our whole time together. First weeks home were a haze of diapers, feed fights, and zero shut-eye like nothing before. Mom crashed for 2 weeks, a help but also a pain, always shuffling my kitchen stuff. Evan's been around more than I figured. Not living here, but hits up 3 times a week for set visits. Sometimes hauls diapers or food. Other times, goofy cute outfits. We still hit bumps, like when he's late. But there's okay bits, like him spotting my clogged duct issue and showing with cabbage leaves and a heat pad after Googling fixes.
Money whiz, it's steady now.
Evan pays support on time so far, and I do part-time social media gigs from home, not rolling in it, but bills get paid.
L'enlorlette me renew solo, small win.
Apartments changed big. His junk's out, baby gear everywhere.
I slaped sage green paint on the living room, perk me up every look. I bump into Maria here and there.
City's small. It's less weird now, like spotting an old bud. Last time, she was with some bearded dude calling her babe. She looked content, kinda pushed. Hope she is for real. Evan?
Still roofing it some.
His new gig ain't clicking, per Mia who heard from Aaron, who hoops with Evan's work bud. He crashed in a crap studio he gripes about non-stop. When he visits Zoe, I catch him eyeing my spot with a mix of missing it and sorry. Wildest twist, he's doing therapy, dude who once called it paying to bitch. He's hitting parenting books and joined a dad Facebook group. Makes me think aliens swapped him. My gig came via Sergio hooking me to his sister's spot. Work's cool, folks nice, fits while Zoe naps. Then there's Eli. Delivery dude who kept dropping my groceries them first wild weeks post-baby. At first, just thanks and bye. But he slipped notes, suggesting parent hacks or corny jokes that cracked me up. One wrecked day, he asked to lug water cases in. I paused, but he felt solid. While stashing stuff, we chatted. He's wrapping enviro science degree, delivers for cash. Helps his sis with her 2 kids, so my mess didn't faze him. Swapped numbers for delivery glitches, our little white lie. We've texted, had coffee a couple times.
Nothing heavy, no hurry.
Nice chatting a grown-up not stuck on diapers or sleep tips. Last week, Evan rolled in as Eli left. His face was a mess. Later, he fished casual who that guy was. Kept it fuzzy, 'cause it's early and not his deal. He mumbled about me moving quick, then zipped it. Mia pushes go for Eli, but I'm day by day. Rushing bites. Zoe's top dog.
Mia is my steady.
When I'm swamped, thinking I'm bombing, she drops iced coffee, back in my life now breastfeeding smoother, and says all new folks feel it. She grabs Zoe sometimes so I can shower, crash, or zone out quiet. Yesterday was my birthday, a year since the box flipped everything. Skipped the bad vibes, had a chill hang, Mia and her hubby, Aaron and Sergio, cousin Lana, few close ones. Evan swung by quick with a bracelet sporting Zoe's birthstone, thoughtful shock, but bounced. Scanning my pad full of folks who got my back, Zoe snoozing peaceful, the setup I scraped from the wreck of what I thought I needed, hit me with straight thanks.
Futuresse à question marque.
Maybe Eli sticks, or he's a quick nice bit. Maybe Evan keeps stepping up as dad, or slips back. Maybe I stay put, or snag a yard spot for Zoe.
What you know, yen dead chick clutching the not last birthday.
She was busted but set. This one's patched stronger where it cracked. Guess if there's a takeaway in this jumbled tale, it's the worst hit can spark your best self. Not quick, not easy, but down the line. P.S. That huge Teddy Evan hole to the hospital? It's blocking Zoe from bed rolls when I gotta pee quick. Guess it earned its keep. Folks asking on the breakup note, kept it. Tucked in Zoe's memory box with her hospital band, first hair clip, positive test. One day when she's ready, we'll lay the full story, not to weigh her, but 'cause it's her roots too.